In this video, we're going to be using Col Conk Amber and the Weck Hairshaper. Stay tuned. Hey there, folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host, CDB. Thanks so much for joining me again today. I really appreciate it. And if it's your first time here, I hope you'll consider subscribing below. And as always, I want to call your attention to the information in the description. I put a lot of information and links below, so please check that out. It's there for your convenience. So today we're using Col Conk again. Why have I paid so much attention to Col Conk recently? Well, they sent 3 of these pucks for evaluation. And I'm going to be honest, when I first got them, I'm like, it's a glycerin-based soap. How good could it be? I have been very pleasantly surprised. You're talking about $3.90 for 2.25 ounces on our cost chart. It's a chart busting $1.73 per ounce. The only criticism that I would air is the ingredients aren't available as of right now on this soap. So I hope the folks at Col Conk will get those ingredients up on the website. I do want to call your attention to one thing. The old puck, you see it right here. This is the new one, and it is a new formula. Unfortunately, I can't tell you the difference in the old formula and the new. This one I bought. I had a really good shave with it months ago. New formulation, though. The scent has been increased. I don't know what other changes have been made. So that's kind of the downfall. But I will say, I've had really excellent shaves with the Conk. And this is probably my favorite scent of the bunch, Amber. It gives me sort of a cologne-y vibe. It's still, I would call it like 3.5 to 4 on scent. Very simple soap, but it makes a good, surprising lather. I have been really surprised. That's why I've kept coming back to it. And again, this is the final puck that they sent. I just sent one to Marion the other day to try. I'm telling you, if you lather this properly, it makes a great lather. I've got a lather tutorial, which I'll link below. You can see for yourself. Again, believe what you see. This makes a great lather. We're going to be using the Weck Hairshaper today, and we will hope not to cut ourselves, but we will make no promises. Okay, let's get right into it. Let's go ahead and mist the face. We have our standard 24 hours growth, which you see right there. And one of the things I want to say about this lather is I put exactly the same amount of water in this Col Conk that I used when I did my Kaizen test, which was 9 sprays of the continuous mister here. And so this Conk here has as much water in it as Kaizen. Will it hold the water as well as Kaizen? No, I don't think so. But will it be slick? And has it provided a good lather? Yes. Is it going to probably have the post-shave properties that Kaizen does? Probably not. However, you know me, I can't really evaluate that because I use post-shave products. What I would say about products like these is if you find the post lacking, get yourself a balm or some after, post product, and you can address it there if you like. And if you're somebody that's using lots of post products anyway, really, how much can you tell about the post from a soap? I'm not here to be a cheerleader and make assertions that can't be validated. Like, I want to show you how something works. As you can see here, nice lather. I took a shot of the lather there, which I'll roll in as I'm painting here earlier. And as you can see, this makes a nice lather. And I've done a lather tutorial showing you how I make it. And there's plenty of hydration in this lather. So nothing at all to complain about here with the Col Conk. Very, very cost-effective razor, I guess cost-effective shaving product. Not very expensive, but for me has done an excellent job, and I don't really find it to be lacking. Okay, let's make sure we're not lacking today in our technique, because technique is super, super critical when using a blade like this. We were watching Shave and Butcher's comparison video, Johan Solo, as I like to call him, yesterday. And he was comparing his Feather DX to the Weck. I believe he might have been using Sexto blade. This is Hairshaper. But he sustained quite a few weepers and cuts there. So we'll hope not to repeat that. But again, I make no promises, because I'm still what I would consider to be an adolescent shaver when it comes to using open blades, because I have total open blade use, I would say maybe somewhere around 116 probably if you count Shavettes and straight razor shaves. So I am not the most skilled, but we try to do the best we can. And now and then, the Weck certainly shows us our affection via a kiss, which essentially means a nick. But we'll try today to steer clear of that as much as we possibly can. A light hand is really, really important when using a razor like this. I want to call your attention to a video that Mike Baker. Now, Mike Baker is an old schooler. He's been making videos for a long time. And he had a video the other day where he sustained a pretty good cut. And he comes back and he's using that as a teachable moment and sort of pointing out what went wrong. And it was simply a lapse of judgment and technique, or lapse of technique. And he was good enough to show it for our benefit. And I think that's wonderful. And I always leave my nicks and cuts in too. I don't edit those things out, because I'm here just to show you what happens is what happens. I remove the rinse, and typically that's it. Or maybe if someone comes to the door or something, but I don't edit out mistakes, you know, in terms of shaving technique. I leave all that stuff in there. Now, the one thing I'll say about this razor is much smaller than the Sexto blade. And so if you have large hands, you probably want to get hold of a Weck Sexto blade because they're bigger. These are quite small. I have medium size hands. I wear medium size gloves. And so this is kind of the limit. I'm pushing the limits of what I'm comfortable with in terms of the size. These are tiny razors, but they cut incredibly well. And the blade in here is Persona, Hairshaper, and they do an excellent job. I forgot my Dr. Matt cloth this morning, but I'll just use this cloth if I need it, help with stretching. Anyway, let's press on. So I want to also mention another old schooler, Mel, for Melly Mel Shaves. I know a lot of you are familiar with BBS Live, which airs on Instagram on Thursdays, but I would also call your attention to Mel's channel. He is genuinely one of the nicer and more generous guys that you'll ever meet. A fellow that I am happy to call a friend. And I hope you will go over to his channel and give him a sub, because he is a wonderful, truly wonderful person. He has high energy. I know that sort of out of the box or bursting with energy approach maybe isn't for everyone. But I hope you'll go over and give him a sub and show him some love, because he's been doing this for a long time. His channel hasn't grown at the level of, you know, a lot of the other channels. But one thing about Mel, he's been doing it for a long time, and he's here to stay. You know, 6 months from now, he'll still be here. A year from now, he'll probably still be here. And God willing, 4 or 5 years from now, he'll still be here. And that always can't be said of the newer channels that come along. You know me, I like to talk about channels both old and new, but I'm trying to refocus on some of the OG channels as well, because they've been here to stay, and they've been putting in the work for a long, long time. And so we like to recognize everyone, but I also want to remind you not to sleep on these older channels these gents have a lot of experience, and they've put in a lot of work, and they've paid their dues, so to speak, over a long period of time. And I'm pretty sure that I have known Mel since at least 2014, if not earlier. So he's been doing this for quite some time, and I hope you'll give him a shot. Melly Mel Shaves. Again, links will be below, and I hope you'll check them out. Very nice here with the Weck Hairshaper. Tiny little, it probably looks bigger on video than it actually is, to be honest. It's small. And I definitely prefer the Sexto blade in size. one of the things I got to remember is, and one of the things Mike emphasized in his video is stretch. Like he said, if you're young and your skin is very taut, it's not quite as critical. But when you start getting some age and maybe some excess skin, like some of us older guys, you got to stretch. And I would say if I were to call areas of needing improvement to my technique, now I am pulling down right here, by the way, I would say stretching is one of those areas that I could certainly use some improvement, because a lot of times I don't stretch as well as I should, or I don't pull in the area where I'm actually shaving. I'm not stretching to that area. And so I think we can all use improvement no matter how long we've been doing it or how good we might be at it. And I'm by no means making claims that I am good, because like I said, you know, I'm only a little over 100 shaves of this style open blade shaving in. And so I'm still learning every single time out. And so my goal here is to share my learning experience with you. And on software like this, look, I am very experienced with software. I mean, I have probably 1,600 videos up or somewhere thereabouts. If you look at the old ilather.com channel, I have used a lot of products. And so when I'm using products like Col Conk, what I'm trying to accomplish here is just to show you they work. I'm not here to pass on claims that can't be validated about, you know, how slick is something relative to another thing. You know, I think we've been talking about that a lot recently. It's just impossible to prove. But I just want to demonstrate that, I don't know why I just ran that over my mouth. I normally don't do that. Just want to demonstrate that these products, even inexpensively, will, if you lather them properly, will provide that slickness. Now, again, I always caveat, if your skin needs certain ingredients, then it's entirely okay to, you know, want and use, you know, the 12 buttercreams and things that work best for your skin in terms of, you know, the properties that it gives your skin. But in terms of nuts and bolts, which is really what I'm here to talk about more than anything, the mechanics of the shave, the razor gliding along your face and doing what it needs to do. These inexpensive products will get the job done, and they do it for a lot less. And I think a lot of us are guilty of, and I have been guilty of this myself over the years. We buy expensive things and then we become connected to them and we want to validate them and make claims that just, we don't do it purposely. It's just one of those things. We become married to it and we want to feel like we got our money's worth. You know what I mean? So if you look at the lather there, you can tell there's peaks there. I mean, there's absolutely no performance problem in terms of the mechanics of the shave with Col Conk. Despite what Lather Me Whiskers says, I forgot to mention him. But the other day he was saying he doesn't like Col Conk. I don't know if he's tried the new formulation. He was talking about some other glycerin-based soap, which I don't think I've tried personally. But this, I mean, what I aim to do here is to just demonstrate that, yeah, it works. Which is why I've shown the pictures of the lather, which is why I've done a lathering video, is because it doesn't cost a lot. But yet, when it comes to the mechanics of the shave, providing that slickness and doing what it needs to do, in my view, there are no issues. I think you can probably make claims about scents and maybe the luxury level, you know, because it's not as thick and dense as, say, Kaizen or something like that. We use that as our benchmark for premium formula, Kaizen, because it is incredible. You know, in terms of luxurious enjoyment of shave, Kaizen is top rate. But I will say, in terms of just nuts and bolts, getting it done, Kaizen for me, in terms of this right here, whereas this blade moving across the skin, providing the necessary slickness, Kaizen's not giving me anything that this one isn't. you know, and we seek to demonstrate that for you, not just to make claims that can't be validated on, because there's, you know, no objective measures for slickness or so-called cushion or protection or any of those things. There are no really objective ways of measuring that. So what I seek to do is just show you both how it lathers, and then you can try it yourself. But I assure you, if you lather it properly, it will do what it's supposed to do. Because you've seen it here now, what? This is my, I think, third shave with the Conk, and we've done a lather tutorial. So I'm not trying to sell you on the Conk in terms of asking you to go out and buy it. That is always your choice. But what I'm saying is there are plenty of people who are on budgets who use these type of products. There are places in the world where these products are more readily available than the American artisanal products. And they use these products without problem. And they shave very successfully, and they enjoy their shaves. And so we're just highlighting a low-cost soap that gets the job done, that lathers well. And so you don't really have to spend a lot, you know. And again, if you find the post lacking, which again, I don't personally evaluate because I'm going to use 3 astringent type post products here in a minute. But if you find the post lacking, get yourself a balm or one of the miracle creams or, you know, elixirs, or get yourself one of the very many products that excel in that area and roll with it. Because personally, I don't really get that much out of posts of shaving soaps, because I'm using the post products that I use, which are, you know, each one of them has astringent properties. So, all right. So I think we did well there. I think it was another successful run with the Conk. Let me rinse. We'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. And all right, we're back here with the Magic Made by Witches. This is Thayer's Witch Hazel, which is one of the post products I use, and it does have an astringent property, which is why I don't talk a lot about posts. It also has things like aloe in it, witch hazel, of course, Thayer's cucumber. Off cam, we used alum, yet another thing with astringent properties that I like to use, works very well. Very little in the way of stinging today, so we had an excellent shave with the Weck Hairshaper. I gotta say, in terms of the shave, it was fantastic, smooth. The Conk just gets it done. Again, I applied the same amount of water to this lather that I did when I did the Kaizen test. 9 squirts. The Conk handled it. Does it handle it as well as Kaizen? No. Is it as luxurious as something like Kaizen? No. Is the post going to be the same as it might be with Kaizen? Probably not, but it is slick. It gets the job done. Brush, by the way, AP Shaveco Hulk with Sinbad Knot 30 millimeter. Excellent shave today, and I'm always really happy when one of these really budget level shaves gets executed well, and I think today we did that. We're finishing off with Floyd Black, which is one of my all-time favorite aftershaves. Actually, this morning, I was bringing my old one out, and I actually dropped it on the tile floor. I had about 10 or 12 uses left in that bottle. It was a shame. This stuff is just phenomenal. Floyd Black, it has a great cologne vibe to it. Anyway, terrific shave today. I hope you all have great shaves wherever you are. Until next time, I want you to remember, it's your shave, do it your way. And as always, God bless.